Don't, you'll make me cry. Hi, my name's Jo Briscoe. I'm doing a BA in textile practice. So I started off at the end of 2017 and doing the HNC in contemporary constructed textiles. That finished just at the start of lockdown, had a year off and then joined the foundation degree course, did the final 2 years of that, had another year off and then joined the BA top-up. Before the course I would have considered myself to be a knitter. I don't remember learning to knit. I would have probably been about 3 and my granny taught me to knit dishcloths, that kind of thing. Then I saw the HNC advertised and there was an option to do it as knit, as stitch or as weave. I was asked if I wanted to do stitch or weave and I said, well, never done weaving before. He said, that's fine, we'll teach you. And now after everything I've ever tried over the last nearly 60 years, I am a weaver over anything else. I think it just captured my imagination and having such a brilliant tutor who's a practicing artist. I think maybe sometimes things were said like, oh, it's not very easy to use such and such a technique or material, and I think I saw that as a bit of a challenge. At the end of the foundation degree, we were encouraged to apply for Ones to Watch, which is the annual graduate show at Sunnybank Mill. I wasn't very keen on the idea. I applied the night before the closing date and sort of to say, there, I've done it. I got selected for the exhibition, which was amazing. And then I got voted People's Choice. So my prize for that was 3 months studio space at Sunnybank Mill. So it meant I was able to move my then current loom out of my front room and into a studio space, and I just really think I benefited from having that mix of other artists around, so much so that I decided to stay, so I've got a permanent studio space. The things around me, but often things that aren't immediately visible. So one of my pieces of work was taken from some photos that I saw of satellite photos of the Earth from space. So things that you would never ever notice, but you just get that completely different perspective. This piece of work, the degree work, I started looking at blue because it's a bit of a joke that I always wear blue, even this bit. And so I started looking at blue and the history of blue, where we got blue, the first blue dyes from. I'm hoping that my pieces reflect some of that. There's a group of us who did our HNC together who exhibit together. We call ourselves Gathered Threads. And we have got Gathered Threads and Friends. I've got an exhibition at the National Trust property in Nuneaton Hall from September to December this year. So there'll be some work to be done for that. So that's really exciting. And then my final piece for my foundation degree, which was the bit that got selected for Sunnybank Mill, was based on a canoeing trip that I'd done off the west coast of Scotland. And that work, plus some other stuff, is going to a gallery on the west coast of Scotland this time next year for their 50th anniversary celebrations. I guess I was slightly worried about going and doing something like that. I don't have an academic background at all. I'm a nurse in my everyday life and a nurse from before nursing was a degree subject. So I wouldn't consider myself to have any academic qualifications. I'm not an artist. So one of my big things was I can't draw. In fact, when I was at school, my mum used to do my art homework. The course was created in such a way that it introduced techniques that I never thought that I could master at all. So things like drawing with your eyes closed, or drawing with a huge pencil really distant and not looking at what you were doing, and realising actually drawing wasn't reproducing the thing in front of you. And the course, I think, is takes you step by step. Looking back, I can see how we have been developed at each step of the way. The benefit of this was the fact that it's part-time in nature, so 5 long weekends a year, so I could fix that around working. When I first started, I was working full-time and I have a family, and it was a stretch, but if you're organised, you can do it. Now I work very part-time, so it's much easier for me to manage, but I think the beauty of it is that it's a part-time course. It makes it so accessible for people, and it's changed my life.